Atep was a family. And happy
Uncle
Mother's Day.
Johnson there, brother.
Yes, and yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the good mothers.
Ashiel.
I love you, mama. I love you, mama. I love you, mama. Yes, I do. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. Ooh, this song's for you. Ooh. Ooh. Here we go. You taught me everything, and everything you've given me, I'll always keep it inside. You're the driving force in my life. Yes, you are. There isn't anything or anyone that I can be, and it just wouldn't feel right if I didn't have you by my side. Oh, you were there for me to love and care for me when skies were gray. Whenever I was down, you were always there to comfort me. And no one else can be what you have been for me. You will always be. You will always be the girl in my life for all time. Mama, mama, you know I love you. Ooh, you know I love you, mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the start. Mama, I just want you to know that loving you is like food for my soul. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Ooh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're always down for me, have always been around me, even when I was bad. You showed me right from my wrong. Yes, you did. And you took up for me when everyone was doubting me. You know it did understand. You gave me the strength to go on. There were so many times looking back when I was so afraid. And then you'd come to me and you would tell me I can face anything. And no one else can do what you have done for me. You will always be. You will always be the girl in my life for all time. Mama, mama, you know I love you. Oh, you know I love you, mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the start. Mama, I just want you to know that loving you is like food for my soul. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Ooh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Ooh. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. Yes, we do. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. Ooh, this day's for you. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. We love you, mamas. Yes, we do. We love you, mamas. We love you, mama. We love you, mama. Ooh.
Mama hears, Mama cares. She wears many hats, seldom passing to rest, taking care of this and that, beautifully dressed in her Sunday's best. Baby, you feel okay? Come, let me look at you. Come on, baby K. Mama knows what to do. Mama hears, Mama cares. A testing hand to the forehead, a probing look in the eyes, healing hands take the lead against all pleas and nays. Stern voices she can raise when your behavior is less. I raised you right with love and praise, none of that sass and mess. Mama hears, Mama cares. Her anger doesn't last long. Soon she's baking and cooking your favorite foods while teasing and cautioning against wrong, gradually loosening your sullen moods. You know her love is boundless. It strengthens your back and resolve. With her support, you are fearless. Life's challenges fade and dissolve. Mama hears, Mama cares.
We love you, Mama. We love you, Mama. Yes, we do. We love you, Mama. We love you, Mama. Ooh.
Black woman, when I look into your eyes, let me tell you what I see. I look into the eyes that were the first to see the sun. Eyes that were the first to ever see children run. Eyes of the mother who was the first giver of life. Eyes of the woman who was the first to be a wife. Eyes of the queen who was the first upon the land. I look into your eyes and I am proud to be black man. Black woman, when you speak to me, this is what I hear. I hear the quiet regalness of Queen Hatshepsut commanding a barge on the Nile. I hear the earthiness of Billie Holiday, a voice with grace and style. I hear the power of Queen Nzinga, who led Angolans into war. I hear the confidence of Harriet Tubman, leading slaves through freedom's door. I hear the pride of Nina Simone, singing Young, Gifted, and Blind. I hear the defiance of Rosa Parks, who refused to move to the back. Black woman, when your voice is bitter or filled with rage, I understand. All I hear is pain and love, and I am proud to be black man. Black woman, when I look at you, let me tell you what I see. Blackness. Blackness like a beautiful, warm African night. The blackness of the original people who tried to do things right. Builders of pyramids and founders of civilization. Mathematics, science, medicine, and who were the first to build a nation. Blackness, like the eons of strong African women who have endured drought, famine, capture, the Middle Passage, slavery, rape, seeing their men killed and their children taken away, and who still come back to face the world with hope in their eyes, a song on their voice, and a smile on their beautiful black faces. Yes, black woman, your blackness is a badge of strength, courage, endurance, but most of all, beauty. So wear it well, my sister, for it is a beautiful hue. Never be ashamed of it, because blackness is beauty, and blackness is you. Yes, you are black and beautiful, and beside you I always stand and tell the world that I love you and that I am proud to be. I am proud to be your man.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Baba Ty, Baba Sydney, Baba Jeff.
Sure.
Great.
Ashe.
That was inspiring.
Ashe.
Mm. And men participate in a lot of good things, man, that other men have taught them as well as women. So thanks to all you men out there. What was the amen?
Take that.
That was very beautiful. As y'all can see, we all loved that. That was awesome. So we give thanks for that. We give thanks for the ideas and all those who put that together. That was beautiful. Greetings and welcome, Akwa Aba, to all of y'all. Uncle Josh and Neb. Today is Mother's Day, so I want to wish every mother a happy Mother's Day today. It is a beautiful time, and I'm looking outside, and it's a beautiful day too, so this is a great day. And now we are going to hear from Sister Bobby and Brother Jamani with the affirmations, and standing on deck after them, we're going to have a song from the Sounds of Ma'at. So as soon as after we do their affirmation, then we'll go right into the song. So Sister Bobby, Brother Damani.
Sister Alicia, are we doing the affirmation? I thought Bobby said we were doing the litany of sacrifice. But we do the affirmation, doesn't matter. Bobby, are you here? I don't hear Bobby, so what's that? Let's go, okay. All right, this is the Wolsey affirmation. We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We
We
are
are
the children
of God.
of
Ashe.
Down to my
All right, can y'all hear us?
Yep.
All right.
All right, give thanks. It's just, we're feeling it in the heart today, family. Have you ever heard your mama calling on the phone? Someone was getting lonely, telling them they're not alone.
Have you ever heard your mama? Real, finding ways to make the loop last. Complete faith in God's will. Mamas pray twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Mamas cook twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Mamas smile twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Give thanks for your mama. Have you listened to your mama? Comfort someone's next of kin, making all of the arrangements, her grief held within. Have you ever met your mama? Worrying for yours, calling out your name in the middle of the night. When your late he gets the door.
Mamas pray twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Mamas cook twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Mamas smile twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Give thanks for your mama. Have you ever known your mama to try and bear your pain, putting hers behind her, time and time again?
Have you ever watched your mama be a mother to a child someone else gave birth to, and to say that child is mine? Oh.
Mamas pray twice,
Once for yours and once for their lives.
Mamas cook twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Mamas smile twice, once for yours and once for their lives. Thanks for your mama.
Thank you, mama. Yeah.
Thank you, mama.
Ashe, thank you very much.
Ashe. Thank you, Sounds of Ma'at, and thank you, Brother Damani, and thank you for stepping in, Mama Kanke. Now we are moving forward. We are going to go into our historical tribute. Our historical tribute is going to be given by our own Sister Debbie. I'm very excited to see what she has going on. And then after Sister Debbie, we'll hear back from the Sounds of Ma'at. So, Sister Debbie.
Beautiful.
Ooh, to say the least.
Ashe.
Ashe. Whew. Mother's Day. Mother's Day to never be forgotten.
Man.
Second, y'all. I'm having some difficulties.
Then it'll share the screen.
I don't know any other way to do it.
Oh boy, okay.
Well, let's just try it and see. Sorry, y'all. We're working it out. Well, what happens if I click it if I don't?
Okay, you just muted yourself.
Yeah, that was purposely.
Yeah, try it without sharing the screen and see what happens.
Okay.
All right, family. This is original work in progress, but it's so I felt apropos to the day. African goddess, from a land of light and love, offering your gifts to uplift, restoring harmony, eternity, the balance. Time passed on, and so many tried to capture your essence, the indignities of history couldn't capture your spirit. No, you kept on soaring higher. You kept on offering your love to the sky. You still had hopes for tomorrow. You still believe, yes you did. Still embraced your children with your wisdom. Still caressed your man's head on your lap. You still were a refuge for your sister, and somehow found time to nurture yourself. Time passed on, and so many tried to capture your essence, the indignities of history couldn't capture your spirit. No, you kept on so. That hurts my heart, y'all. You kept on soaring higher. You kept on offering your loves to the sky. You still had hopes for tomorrow. You still believe. African spirit goddess, do you know you're still standing right here?
I say that was beautiful, David.
Yeah, maybe you'll hear the whole thing one time.
It's a great piece, David.
Ashe.
That was lovely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That absolutely was beautiful, David. And I'm telling you, I'm emotionally drained right now. Another note, I probably couldn't have handled it. So, but thank you, brother.
Thank you, Sounds of Ma'at. That was beautiful. And also thank you to Sister Debbie for that beautiful tribute to the mothers. It was awesome. Now, yes, now we're going to have the Litany of Sacrifice by Sister Connie and Baba Sydney. And then after that, we will be blessed with a Mother's Day gift from Minister Imhotep.
Good morning, Wosay family. It is that time in our service will be the Litany of Sacrifice, and you can look on your screen and see where your donations should be sent to. This is a very emotional, highly spirited day. And like Brother Malik was sharing, I'm just drained, so I will just go right into the Litany of Sacrifice. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayers, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestor. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Amun-Ra, for it is good. Ashe.
Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kuji Chagalia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
And together, Imani,
faith.
We will believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Ashe. At a time like this, Mother, Father, God, Creator, we come to you humbly, and we're so thankful for all of the gifts that have been given, sacrificed, all the time, all the talents, all the prayers that are prayed to help keep our community thriving, growing into the future, growing for the now. In spite of any and all obstacles, we thank you. In spite of any and all obstacles, anyone in our community, we thank you. We thank you for everything you bring to us. And let us all be reminded every day, that ancestors did so much more than we do with so much less. Let's be reminded. Ashe.
Ashe.
Amen.
Minister Imhotep.
Well, Maccabee has come to the realization that there's been an exclusion of the mother of civilization from the creation equation. Discrimination from generation to generation with no explanation. Subtraction and division from that natural equation leads to confusion and illusion. Manipulation, fabrication, and falsification of the origination of creation. Yaga yow. Them say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So where has the woman gone? It's the Father, the Son, and the Mother. Without no mother, no son can born. Why would they want to leave out the mommy? Makes no sense to me. And replacing mommy with a dopey is a big, big conspiracy. Oh, mother of civilization, oh, queen of the universe, they try to take you out of the equation. I said that can't work. In her lies the truth of creation. Yes, she has given birth. They try to take you out of the equation, disrespecting Mother Earth. When it says in the beginning, let us make man. Who is the us, them a talk? It's the father, also the mother. Queen Omega still has my heart. When it says create man in our image, where does this hour come from? Children must look like their parents. Some look like daddy and some like mom. Oh, mother of civilization, oh, queen of the universe, they try to take you out of the equation.
Ashe. What a wonderful gift. That was beautiful. So we would like to thank you, Minister Motep, for that Mother's Day gift. And thank you, Sister Connie and Baba Sydney, for the Litany of Sacrifice. And now we are moving on to a beautiful time in the service, a time where I'm so excited about because I've been waiting all week for this moment. So now is the time for the message, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, Netaru. This is the time where we are going to hear from a wonderful woman, a beautiful woman, a woman who I do not talk to often, but when I do, my ears are perked up and I am listening, mentally jotting down notes or physically jotting down notes and hanging on every word she says. This is Minister Mama Doris Alkebulan. Please join us. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Sister Alicia. I give thanks and praise to the Most High God, who through all things are possible, on heaven and on earth. The spirit of creation, I give thanks for this day. Thanks for the breath of life. Thanks for consciousness. And as been said, we're all full. I want to thank each and every one of you who sent out condolences, support, and power and prayer during the loss of my mother. And I guess today was the first time pouring libation for her. I thank for the power and the light that she gave. I thank you for the goodness of all mothers today. And as the brother said, our mothers would anoint our head with oil and our cup runneth over. I give you thanks. The phrase that I used at her homegoing was from the Beatitudes. And a lot of us have background in the Christian faith. And it starts out with, he surely, those that mourn, that they will be comforted. And the one that's true at heart would see God. And I know that my mother is seeing God. So I'm thankful for that. I thank you for her life. So as we go forward today, the message that I've been given to give to you, as I reflect, because my firstborn will be 30 years old. And 30 years later, and I'm trying to I understand the joys and the trials and tribulations of motherhood now. And especially being without my earthly mother in the flesh on this plane. So I'm just honored and my heart is full to share. Well, I've come before you today as Sister Doris, and some of you know me and some of you don't, just know me as Minister Imhotep's wife, and it's kind of like, okay, I stay in the background and, keep things going. And he's known as the walking encyclopedia. So, and some of you might not know what an encyclopedia is, if you're old like me, you know what encyclopedia is. Wikipedia, I guess now, or you Google it or something. But I live with a walking encyclopedia. Just Google him. So young folks, I'm usually the prayer warrior in the family. So 41 years ago, when my grandmother died, I then had my first true experience of praying in public and speaking in tongues. And so when I hear the brother talk about his mother being a prayer warrior, I remember when that occurred to me 79 years ago, in 1979, when I was just 19 years old. And coming from a holiness background, it was the thought of either, you have the Bible, it's what's on the front would say Holy Bible, and what's on the back, it was either you were holy or nothing. But I was fortunate enough to have a grandmother who talked about studying. And that's what I want us to always remember, that our mothers gave us the challenge to study. And during the 80s, we were fortunate enough to have a liberation theology time period that was emerging. And WOSE was a part of that liberation theology movement. So, but day in and the day out observation of what was going on, recognizing God in our own image, recognizing and praising and celebrating God as African people, not as somebody else said, but as African people. So that was the inspiration, so that the Creator could be in our own form. And that was the basic elements of life. So you're saying, well, yeah, that was the 80s, but we're in the 21st century now. And by training, I'm a licensed civil engineer. I work for Caltrans. I worked for 32 years now as an engineer and doing bridges, highways, dealing with environmental impacts, because I was the math person. Now they talk about STEM and women, finally getting into engineering and doing those things. But math and numbers were my forte. I love numbers. But mind you, physics was my nemesis. But once I understood how African people taught science and math and literature, then I understood better. So by the same token, I have better understanding. So I look at the things I do and see where is God in it? Where is our story in it? So after several years of advanced math, you take 3 years of calculus, you take differential equations, vector calculus, and you're doing problem sets, and you're doing, structures analysis, and you're doing pages and pages of calculations and numbers. And you're going through, and by page 10 or 12, you go back and you ask yourself, what am I trying to solve for again? What am I looking for? And am I trying to see how far the pile will go down in the ground, or how high the bridge needs to be, or how wide the dam needs to be? You're going through pages and pages of calculation, numbers, equations, and that's where we are. And I'm like, what are we trying to solve? What are we doing? What are we trying to figure out? We are looking for the solution. We are searching for the answer. So you have equations. You're working, this is the equation you use for this kind of project. This is the equation you use for this kind of bridge. This is the software application that you do. Which one do I use? What assumptions do I have to make? What do I need to understand? Oftentimes we have several equations, and understanding where you are and what to use is the key to trying to solve it. Well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, every day now, there's a matrix out there. And that matrix thinks it knows what to do. If you put it in the matrix solves it. That makes it easy. What's the matrix? You put all your equations, all your numbers, all your unknowns, and it creates a way to solve things. And I was like, we're not talking about the matrix with Lawrence Fishburne. Okay, that's a whole nother concept. But I looked at the definition. That's always the key. Go back and look at the definition of a word and see what it is saying, what it is speaking to us. So a matrix in the mathematical sense is an array of quantities or expressions. You know, x plus y is equal to z, or 1 plus 2 is equal to 2y, 3x, and you're like, you still don't know what x is equal to? I saw my high school best friend last night, and she reminded me how I would sit with her in algebra over and over, and she still couldn't figure out what x was. But it's understanding how to manipulate the numbers and the equations with a set of rules. That's the mathematical of putting an array, putting it in order so you know where they are. You get all the x's and all the y's and all the z's, and you get the numbers and the constants. That's what you're doing. You're trying to put order so you can solve. Well, from an environmental, what is the matrix? In which something is developed in a medium or a structure. That's the environmental definition of a matrix. A mass of fine particles, you know, fossils or crystals or diamonds or core, that comes together in some kind of order to create the foundation in the earth and the environment. Then there's even the organizational matrix. Wow. I never knew there was an organizational matrix, but it's talking about the structure. How do you function? What is the order? What's the communication? How does it survive? How does it move forward and build? And it says an organizational matrix structure in which 2 or more lines of communication and responsibilities are communicated and run through the same source or individual or power. Wow, think about that. Or organizational matrix that then has that power or the source, but it's got the structure and it's communicating. All right, and then the final, where does the word, you know, you talk about how words are formed. The word matrix is from the Latin, which we know they ended up going back to us for everything, right? But it's in the sense, it's the womb, it's the breeding, it's the female mother. I'm like, oh my God. And I've been talking about the matrix, and I wanted to speak on the matrix, and then it came on Mother's Day. And when I saw that it truly meant mother or womb, I was like, oh my goodness. And my husband said, didn't you know that? And I said, no, I didn't. It just came to me. And I want us to think of mom, the matrix of mother, the matrix of mama, the order, the structure, the array, the equations, the solutions of mother. But now in 2021, there's a matrix that thinks it knows more than you, isn't there? It wants to control you. You log onto your computer or your smartphone and you start, and you're getting pop-up ads. It's telling you that you're hungry. It's telling you that why don't you join this group? It's telling you that maybe this person should be your friend. And I look at it and I get a friend suggestion and I'm thinking, well, it says they know one person that you know. Well, I don't know whether I want to be friends with that person if they only know one person I know. Then I look to see they know 14 people and I go, oh, that's the WOSE connection. They're okay. But they're looking, the matrix thinks it knows what you want to do, who you want to be, who you want to associate with. They are creating a matrix that thinks it knows better than your mom. They are trying to develop with machines that will know that you this is where you want to go. This is the car you want to drive. This is the house you want to live in. This is the neighborhood. You know, this is what you want to listen to. This is the sounds you want to hear. That's what they are doing with their matrix. But brothers and sisters, we need to be about mom, the matrix of mama, the matrix of ma'at. That's what we, the people of Wosay, need to be about. We need to not let others define, name, and create and speak for ourselves. We've got to stop those pop-up ads with all these suggestions. The matrix is directing you. You get on thinking you're going to do one thing, and it takes you down another path. You get on and think, and you forget what it was you were going to do, what you were trying to do. The next thing you know, you're sitting up there doing something else, not doing what you're supposed to do. What am I looking for? You know, you're saying, where am I going? So therefore, we've got to look and recognize that that matrix is constantly running. That matrix is trying to be your compass, is trying to direct you, trying to command you. It is not the center. It's not going to tell you where you're going to live. It's not going to tell you how to live. It's not going to tell you what to eat. You know, it'll even put a little sound, ba 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 ba, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to McDonald's. Then it's going to, I need a Pepsi. Then it's what is it telling you to teach your children? What is it telling to put in your body? So I then want to go to 2000 Seasons. And that's one of our freedom books, writings. And, you know, I've read it once, and then I read different parts, and then I kind of studied certain parts. And it's in a novel form. So that in a novel form, you can then hear the study and learn the lesson and see what it's trying to say. So 2000 Seasons, when you start looking at it as a novel and then seeing a passage, and this passage that I'm going to read from, which is the basis of on page 47. And Brother Bill is going to pull it up. And it says, to reduce them to things, the predator fed their bodies, indulging their crass physical wants promptly, overflowingly. The predators feed them huge meals of meat and drink and added abundant daga for their smoking. The predator supplied them with women and watched their copulations as another kind of sport. Such was Astaria's life. From morning till night, they were either at some sport, eating, drinking, copulating, smoking, or defecating. Their bodies having been used to draw them into a state of mindless physical strength, habit suffice to turn the state itself into a purpose for these aimless creatures. The newfound end of their lives has come to keep from doing anything different from the hollow cycles of defecating, smoking, copulating, drinking, eating, and playing. It was written right here. The traps for the mind, traps for the body, traps for the soul. If you're caught up in what you put on your body, what you do with your body, who you do it with, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. 2000 Seasons was written decades ago. It was telling the story. It was explaining to us, don't fall for the old okie doke. Understand that matrix was built a long time ago, and we must understand how to break that cycle. So that's the section in 2000 Seasons that talks about it, that set us up. So embedding in our minds, in our communities, in our organizations. So I'm not going to just talk about the bad things and those things that go on, because more importantly, so what do we need to do? How do we get on the good foot? We need mom. We need the matrix of mother. We need the matrix of ma'at. Mother Earth connection. So we talk about whether it's the water, whether it's the soil, whether it's the air. We need that connection with Mother Earth. As we look at the leaves blowing in the wind, we need the connection with Africa, the motherland. So when we, the matrix of mother, the matrix of the motherland. Do you hear what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to connect with you? We need Pan-African view, because we're not just in one place. We're not limited to that. We're not just in one neighborhood. We're not just in one state or country or county. We are throughout the globe. We have to have a Pan-African view. We have to have the mother concept, the matrix of Ma'at. We have to have the matrix of the mother, the core source. So that will solve things for us. That will address the strife and continue and understand how the African diasporas can exist. If we care about what happens in Grenada, what happens in Jamaica, what happens in Trinidad, what happens in Nigeria, what happens all over the continent, then we will be in tune. The matrix will be able to solve the problems. But if we disconnect, we get too much stuff going on, because when you're solving a matrix in mathematics, you have equations and unknowns, and you got too many unknowns, you can't solve it. But you have to remember what you do know and what you do have, and then you can solve it. And then, you know, the predator will also throw extra stuff out there that you don't even need. You have to recognize that. You have to put away the stuff that you don't need and take the things that your mama told you you needed and that were important. The basics, all that other stuff is not necessary. You got to understand what you really do need to survive. Remember, Sister Mama Jasiri would say, you have to teach your children what they need to survive. Okay? That's what we have to look at. We have to solve it with self-esteem. We have to show them how they need to see themselves, not how somebody else wants them to be seen. We need to put before our children how they should be seen and how they need to love themselves each and every day, not just some days, each and every day. They need to know how to love themselves. They must understand that that part of the matrix is crucial. So therefore, how they speak, the mother tongue, the matrix of mother, the matrix of mom, the mother tongue, the language, how you speak, how we speak to each other, what we say to each other, encourage you and lift you. Your mama always is going to lift you up. And if she doesn't say something, you know, wait a minute, I think I better check that out or hold back. But we need to understand that mother tongue, that sometimes she's going to discipline you. Sometimes she's going to try to get you straight so you know where you know. But we must know what to speak and how to speak and when to speak, and speak with authority. That I am a Black person, I am an African person, I'm a beautiful person because my mama told me so. Mama, the matrix of solving and addressing social communication and interaction. The structure, from chaos comes order. So we don't want to stay in a chaotic situation. When you'll see that will be solving problems, and a mathematician will be on a chalkboard, I guess a whiteboard now, and you're on the computer and you're trying to solve, and you got all kinds of stuff going on, but you need the order. You need to know the order of operations to get the right answer. If you're solving an equation, you know you do the what's in the parentheses first. Then you do the multiplication and division as it comes. And then you do the addition and the subtraction. You must know the order of operation that your mama gave you, the matrix of Ma'at, the matrix of mom, on how to solve your problems. That's what we're looking for. That mother's intuition, what your mama knew. She might not have known how to do calculus. My mother didn't know how to do physics, but she knew to tell me to get my lesson. She knew to tell me books and boys don't mix. You get in there and do your studying. She knew to tell me to settle down and go to class. That's what Ma'at does. That's what mom does. That's what the matrix of right order is. Mom provides the structure. We're in a world of chaos and confusion. We are in the midst of all kinds of stuff. You walk out the door, you don't know whether you're coming or going, but our structure must be orderly. From the chaos, that's why meditation will help you be orderly. How having a plan. If you want to be successful, you got to have a plan, but then you got to implement your plan. You know, you can't just sit around and look at it. Your mother will say, get up off your butt and get going. Go out there and do something. You don't just lay around. You have to have the matrix of Ma'at, the matrix of mom, the matrix that tells you and gives you the basic common sense of loving yourself and loving your people more than the predator out there. Well, hey, the matrix, that seems easy. We must go, must go through the same source of the Most High. So that the Most High God is the rule and the order for the organization. And we've all often heard the phrase WWJD, what would Jesus do? Well, let's go take it to where we are today. What would mama say? We all have a situation where we would be sitting up there and we would be, what would mama say? You know what she would say. And we have to hear that in our voice, in our head. We must hear that voice. And after we think about what would mama say, what would the matrix of Ma'at be about? What would the matrix of mama be? And we would say, what should I do? That's the next question. What should I do? That's what we need to be looking at next. We have to solve the questions from inside of us, which means to know thyself. Teach our children what they need to survive, not dogma, but truth and purity. Simple, 3 parts: truth, justice, and righteousness. Truth, the truth is the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. It's not relative. The truth is absolute. Justice, that's balance. That's what it is. Righteousness is not self-righteousness. Understand, the righteousness comes from the 10 virtues, distinguishing between right and wrong, real and the unreal. Knowing the virtues, those 3 simple parts give order to the matrix, give order to the structure that we need to build to go forward. Solving, it needs to be tangible. It's not intangible. It's not isbet. It's not chaos and deceit. It's order. It's structure. It's beautiful. And it comes by us living the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba every day. Unity in the family, community, nation, and race. That's simple. You put that in the matrix, that's going to fall out really nice. Then you go self-determination. Define, name, create, and speak for ourselves. You know your mama told you that. The matrix of mom, the matrix of Ma'at. Hey, what do you remember? We know Ujima, Ujamaa, creativity. We've seen that today with the presentations in the video. We've seen it today through the songs and the artwork. We see it through the prayers. The 7 principles are the basis for us to get that matrix right, to get it solved. And then we have our 10 virtues. So that's what's happening. Those are our pop-ups. That's what should be popping up in our head. Umoja, Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Nia, Kuumba, Imani. What do you hear? What's your pop-up? Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujamaa, Nia, Kuumba, Imani, faith. These are the equations for us to be one with God. This is the structure for us to have the matrix of mom in us in each and every day. This is the array. This is the matrix of mother. It gives us response because your mama knew before you knew. Your mama understood So when the brother said he went to his mother, she said she knew she needed to be prayed. She knew that the oil that had been anointed had to be energized with her further prayer on her knees. She knew what was needed. She could see it coming. She could feel it coming. When you call on mom, it's okay if you call on mom. You can call her mom. You can call her mama. You can call her big mama. You can call on your mom. You can call on the Most High God, whether you say Ra, Amenhotep, whether it's Jehovah, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Muhammad. God responds no matter what you call on him, as long as you call and understand he's the power. He wants you to have the matrix that makes you not just a consumer, but one that's a producer. God wants you to have the spirit of mom in you, the matrix that has you go out and lift up and teach your children, not to take away and keep them down. The mom in you, the matrix is going to give you the power. It's going to make you go out there and build your institutions. It's going to allow you to go out there and build and create teachers. It's going to create the situation where you can be productive, where we create neighborhoods. That is the matrix of mother. That is the matrix of mom. That is not confusion. That is true peace. Mom is caring for you because the synthetic matrix out there is disconnected. We have to understand what is going on. Mom will lift us up. Mom will teach us. Mom will love us. Mom, the women of wealth say, wow, we are the matrix. We are the womb. We have to honor our mothers every day. So in the Hosea, and the Hosea always speaks to me, no matter what comes up, I can go back to the basics. But in the Hosea, the book of knowing the creation, it talks about self-definition of Ra. And it's talking about, and when you say Ra, whether you say Ra, Ptahotep, Amen, Jesus, Christ, Buddha, whatever you call on, because I don't want to get in trouble, because I'm going to sincerely call on whatever the spirit, because when I get sick and get down, I'm going to call my mama. I'm going to call on the Most High God. So here in the self-definition of Ra, it says, and his majestic Ra, Lord of all, spoke to Isis the Great, saying, I am he who made heaven and earth and knitted together the mountains and created all that exists upon them. That was the creative power. That had solved that basis. I am he who made the primordial waters and caused heaven to come into being. That is the power of the Most High, that structure to solve those equations. I am he who made the male and the female so that the joys of love might come into the world. I am he who made the heavens and the hidden places of the two horizons so that the soul may dwell in them. I am he who, when he opens his eyes, it becomes light, and he who closes his eyes, it becomes dark. He at whose command the waters of the Nile rise, and whose name the exalted ones do not know. I am he who creates the hours so that the days come into being. I am he who initiates the New Year festival and creates the flooded water. I am he who made living fire so that the works of the house might be performed. I am Kepra, the bringing into being. In the morning, Ra, the most high and glorious at noon, and Atan, the complete one in the evening. That's saying he's everything, my all, my everything. Your mama, mom, the matrix of Ma'at, the matrix of mother. You're recognizing the spirit and the power that nurtures and embedded is in the bedrock of the life of the truth and your existence. Not just your biological mom, but order, beautiful, crystal, nature. It's complex, but it's simple. It's very simple because the love of mother, the love of God, the true love that allows you to exist is the simple and the equation It is the matrix. It is the building blocks. It is the source of all power when it comes together. While there might be complex, when it comes together, it's the one. It's the one, the Most High God, that gives you life, that gives you breath, that gives you strength. When we have no way and no where we're going, it makes a way out of no way at all. That it nourished you. It gave you food on the table. It gave you understanding of life. It gave you peace in your heart. So today, as we recognize that mother, we recognize the womb in which we came from. We recognize the source of all light and all that is good, the one that lifts us up and carries us, so that whether we study every temple in Kemet, but as long as we knew our heart, we kept it simple and knew and trust on that basis, that's the love, the goodness, and the strength. I put to you, will say, stay strong, keep it simple, give it and embrace the love that your mother gave you, and understand you are the most beautiful people on the face of the earth. Take your power, lift yourself up, get order. Do not just take, but give. Be entrepreneurs, be doctors, be scientists, be artists, be creators of our community, be business people. Love yourself as God so loved you, as your mama loved you, as your daddy loved you, as your community loves you, that lifts you up. Know that your mother loves you and cares for you. You call on her name and she responds. You don't even have to call. She knows before it happens. You don't know when you come in this world. You don't know when you're living, but you know your mama's with you every step of the way. Well, say, remember, our organizations, our businesses, our children, everything must be one with the matrix of the Most High God. This I give to you. Thank you. Amen Ra.
Sante Sana.
Ashe, 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 oh, Ashe,
Beautiful.
oh,
A
Ashe.
tremendous
Ashe.
message. A
Yes,
tremendous message. Thank you. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for Sister Mama Doris Alkebulan, for the words of truth, beauty, and goodness that have been brought to and flowed through her mouth, through her teeth, tongue, and lips, for our edification, for our continued rising in the spirit of Mach. We heard her talk about the matrix. That the matrix is the mother. As it registered with me, matrix is the mother of order. Matrix is the mother, is the womb of order for all reality. That there are things that we have to take into our hearts and minds and examine and evaluate and hear our mother Mach speaking to us that no, this is the solution. This is the way to go. We heard her read from 2000 Seasons and was talking about the indoctrination that has been imposed upon us as a people, the indoctrination that this Western, Caucasian, whatever you want to call it, world order wants to impose upon us as a people, a doctrine of obscenity, a doctrine of self-hate and self-destruction, a doctrine of individualism, and Ma'at is the matrix by which we can be healed from that virus. Ma'at is the matrix that calls us to remember truth, justice, and righteousness, to remember balance, harmony, and divine right order. The matrix that calls us to remember that this is the mother of our existence, the mother of our well-being. Remember Umoja, Nkuji Chagole. Remember, let it pop up in your heart, in your mind, your soul every day. Let it be the foundation by which we teach our children. Let it be the foundations by which we develop relationships with one another. Let it be the foundations that's going to lead us to know the power of the Most High within us, that gives us the power to build, to create, to maintain what we need for our best interest. And so we just, in that energy, that spirit, that power, we want to invite if there's someone who's been listening today and was touched by this worship service from beginning to this point, that were touched, and I don't know who's got any measure of humanity, any measure of the spirit left in them could not be touched and moved by what we've been given this day, and icing on the cake from Mother Sister Doris. If you're looking for a spiritual home, a community, a team you want to work with and build with, we want to invite you right now to let it be known, unmute yourself and say, here, I want to be a member of this WOSE community. I want to be a part of this matrix for our healing and wholeness as a people. Let it be known. Call out, and we will contact you, interact with you, give you information that you need for that process of becoming a member of this WOSE community, part of this matrix to help us as a people to be all we've been created to be, empowered to be, because the essence of the matrix lives within us. If we become conscious of it, respectful of it, to overcome and overthrow that insanity and self-destruction that this world, this low level of this world, has sought to impose upon us. Is there one today? Is there more than one today? Ashe, Ashe. I don't hear anybody saying anything, but I know I've been moved. I've been moved today. I think that historical tribute was something that's touched me. And like Brother Malik, as he was sharing his experience with his mother, and the tears began to flow, as Sister Debbie put those together, those pictures of women, the mothers, the grandmothers of WOSE. Oh, my eyes just watered on up. And now here's Sister Doris laid it on us. It's the mother of our being. It's to be people of truth, beauty, and goodness. Ashe, just giving thanks and praises. And so, what's next on the agenda? Help us, Holy One.
I say. So, Minister Makalisi, were you going to come with Lift Every Voice and Sing? And then after you, Minister Imhotep will come for the closing.
Ashe, Ashe. All right. Lift every voice and sing. Help me, Mom. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. March on with Amen Ra. March on in the spirit of Ma'at. March on with Septepi power every day, every hour. Let's do all we can for truth and justice in every land. The sacred African way, Akujasenev Ashe. March on with Amen Ra. March on in the spirit of Ma'at. Ashe will say, let's march on.
Ashe.
And now let's gather our hands together and form our circle And every time we form the circle, even though we're trying to make it circular, it always winds up in the shape of Africa. Have you noticed that? Sacramento and Oakland, when you form a circle, it always ends up being in the shape of Africa. And now to them who is able to lift us up thoughtlessly before the throne on high. May they empower us to be a people with one aim, one vision, one faith, one destiny, one love, one heart, one God. Let us call upon the name of that one God, as our ancestors and elders have done for time immemorial. Let us all say together, Amen. All across the Zoom, all across this country, all across this world, you are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. Amen Ra.
Yes, we are.
Harambe. Harambe.